Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all. So this is our first lecture for global ethics, and we are doing it online also for the first time, and I hope that all of you are doing just fine. Okay, so today we are going to learn about introduction to global ethics. So basically, what is ethics? So ethics come from the Greek ethos, means character, while morality comes from the Latin moralis, meaning custom or manners. So basically, ethics and morality are interrelated. Ethics it refers to rules provided by external sources such as code of conduct, rules, and regulation, while morality refers to our own principles in determining and deciding what is right and what is wrong. So the study of morality and ethics evolves around the question of what is right and what is wrong. If it is wrong, what are the standards to make such decision? Okay, so according to McKinnon, ethics or moral philosophy will ask the basic question about the good life, about what is better and worse, about whether there are any objective right and wrong, and how we know if there is. So basically, McKinnon said that ethics is all about what are the right things that we should do and what are the wrong things that we should avoid. So according to Rox, morality or ethics deal basically with human relationship, which are how human treats, how human treat other beings so as to promote mutual welfare, growth, creativity, and meaning as they strive for good over bad and right over wrong. So Tirot, he said that ethics or morality is basically on how we as a human maintains our relationship good with other people. So moving to values, so basically values are the rules by which we make decisions about right and wrong, should and shouldn't, good and bad. So they also tell us which are more or less important, which is useful when we have to trade off meeting one value over another. So basically, different people have different value depending on their self. Some people might have good values and some might not have good values. It may due to several factors such as custom, norms, and things that they have been mentioned. Okay, so what is good and what is bad? So basically, what is good? Good. It is an empirical fact that good involves happiness and pleasure. It may involve some degree of excellence, important addition to pleasure or satisfaction. People will happy if the good conduct done by excellent people. For example, we have a lawyer handling cases in an excellent manner. So what is bad? Bad involves unhappiness in pain. So basically, it lacks of excellence. People feel unhappy or the action done with lack of excellence. Okay, what is amoral? So basically, amoral, they are having no moral sense, being indifferent between right and wrong things. For example, those who suffer mental illness, while non-moral are out of the realm of moral altogether. For example, knife, pen, any material. I give another example. So basically, a is a selfish person. Um, Other than selfish person, they are a person who have no concern about what is right and what is wrong. Maknanya orang ni tak kisah baik ke buruk ke. Contoh orang gila lah, they suffer mental illness. For the moral ni something that have no relation with being ethical. Contoh-contohnya benda tak hidup lah, benda tak hidup dia tak boleh fikir lah mana yang baik, mana yang buruk. Okay, so kenapa kita study ethic? Why we study ethic? So adakah orang yang tak study ethics ni can be considered as unethical? Kita kata adakah ethics ni wajib untuk dipelajari. Tak sebab kita study ethics because ethics is a guidance. It's a guidance for us to ensure that everything that we do will direct us with a good end. So ethics will address question of good and bad, or right or wrong. The importance of ethics. We use ethics to solve moral problems resulted from many choices about what is good and bad, better and worse, and even right and wrong. Um, we study ethics maybe due to several reasons such as political reason, economic reason, social reason, religious reason, and etc. So basically ethics adalah something yang akan guide kita untuk kita buat benda-benda secara tepat dan betul. So we have three sources of morality. First is supernatural theory, we have natural law theory, and the object itself. So for the first one, supernatural theory, so basically morality comes from supernatural beings. It comes from divine revelation, book of God, which is Quran, kita ada dosa and pahala, syurga and miracle, and etc. lah. For natural law theory, morality somehow is embodied in nature, and they are natural law that human must adhere if they are to be moral. This is according to Thomas Aquinas lah. So basically natural law ni, it embodied in nature. Dia adalah satu moral standard that govern human behavior in determining what is right, what is wrong. For example, perkahwinan, marriage. Hukum alam, natural law theory adalah hukum alam. Hukum alam sebagai contoh dalam perkahwinan, lelaki sepatutnya berkahwin dengan perempuan, bukannya lelaki dengan lelaki, perempuan dengan perempuan. For the word and object in it have their own value. So, for example, knife, pisau, they have their own value. Pisau ada own value. Jadi pisau itu kita lah yang akan menentukan sama ada kita gunakan pisau itu untuk memotong, contohnya potong sayur-sayur, potong buah-buah, ataupun kita gunakan pisau untuk tikam orang, tikam X. Jadi kita lah yang pilih how we will use some object for its purpose. So application of morality, kita ada religion aspect, which is human being relationship with God, hablum minallah. Natural aspect, human being relationship with nature, kita punya relationship dengan alam sekitar, flora and fauna. For individual aspect, kita punya hablum minan nas, individual relation to themselves, to an individual code of morality. Social aspect, kita punya relationship dengan other human beings. Okay, so moving to environmental ethics. Okay, basically environmental ethics ni bukan benda baru lah. It is not new. Environmental ethics deals with important questions such as which things deserve moral consideration, not only because of their value to us or to others, but for their own sake. The second question about environmental ethics is which things in the world around us have an inherent value, and which other things have their own right. So basically environmental ethics ni adalah a branch of ethics that studies the relation of human beings and environment and how ethics play a role in this. So basically environmental ethics believe that humans are part of society. Manusia ini adalah sebahagian daripada society as well as other living creatures, such as animals, plants, and so on lah. So this item, this plant, human, social, and flora and fauna are very important parts of the world. That kita sebagai manusia should be respect and honor and use our morality and ethics when dealing with creatures. So basically environmental ethics ni kita nak kita sebagai makhluk ini adalah satu society di mana kita hendaklah jaga satu sama lain, menghormati satu sama lain dan jaga hak antara satu sama lain. Okay, so what is considered to be valuable? As I said previously, semua benda adalah valuable. Semua benda adalah valuable. So kita can categorize valuable things according to which the first one is instrumental, whereby the value assigned because of usefulness, and the second one is non-instrumental or intrinsic, which is value is not a means to an end but an end itself. Okay, so intrinsic. Okay, apa itu intrinsic? Okay, intrinsic adalah value that something has itself. Value yang ada pada benda tu. Maknanya sebagai contoh water, air ya, water, air ni sifat dia menyucikan, membersihkan kan. Jadi the water itself, the function itself is dia memang dicipta untuk diminum lah. Jadi the function of water sebab dia memang useful. Okay, while instrumental value ni adalah things that is valued for the end result kita gain daripada benda ni. Okay, for example, tree. Okay, we appreciate tree as it provides us with oxygen, oxygen lah kan. So that is intrinsic. Intrinsic. Okay, but when we use tree to build house, time tu lah tree ni jadi instrumental value sebab kita gain end result dari pokok tersebut, which is rumah. Okay. Okay, so where does it come from? So does the values come from human being, or it is something that already in existence in the world, or and this is where two school, positivist and another one is subjectivist. Okay, subjectivist ni they argue that intrinsic value is something which human creates and attach to their own life, the life of other people or particular state of affairs to achieve pleasure and avoid suffering, while objectivists they believe that non-instrumental is not human create but something in the world, thus it should recognizing the value that already present. Okay, so basically the development of environmental ethics ni has been introduced by Rachel Carson in 1962 in her work Silent Spring. Basically in her work, she has warned the dangers to human and to wildlife from toxic pesticide residues that spark the movement of environmental issue. So basically the inspiration for environmental ethic was initiated pertama kalinya during first Earth Day in 1970. So the discussion during the day, the discussion of ethics has gone through evolution from interpersonal ethics to holistic environmental ethics, which include non-human legs, like animal, plants, species, ecosystem, and even event to Earth. So basically, holistic environment ni adalah kita treat all things surrounding us as valuable regardless adakah dia intrinsic ke non-intrinsic ke, as all parts of our ecosystem have their values and contribution in maintaining our environment. So from dari situlah the development of theories pertaining to environment ethics had emerged, where in 1970s the research on ecology had given birth to the theory of deep ecology. Okay, I think that's all for today. I hope that you understand well. If you have any problem, you can contact me. Okay, thank you.